Imagine playing Minecraft late at night. You're in a quiet, deserted part of the map, just mining and building. The familiar, blocky world is all around you, but something feels off. The hairs on the back of your neck rise. You glance around, but everything seems normal. Or so you think. You return to your work, but the feeling won't go away, as if someone is watching you just out of sight. 3 years ago, a small, unassuming YouTube channel by the name of Cypriot uploaded a video, a simple Minecraft playthrough. At first glance, it looked like any other Let's Play, mining, building, exploring the vast, blocky world. But that video, it still haunts those who stumbled across it. Because, as time passed, viewers noticed something strange, something unsettling. A shadow that moved in the background, a dark figure that followed Cypriot's every move. And he never saw it. The video remained unnoticed for months, even years. Just one of millions of Minecraft videos on YouTube, buried in obscurity. But for those who found it, something about the footage felt wrong. And then, slowly the comments started trickling in. Yeah, something definitely isn't right about this video. Anyone else notice? Weird. Creepy. Cypriot even responded to this comment with a question mark. He didn't understand the reason for these words. For all he knows, he made a normal video. The first time we see it, Cypriot is heading back to a village, a known place amongst all Minecraft players. He's been exploring for a while, gathering resources, and as the night begins to creep in, he decides to return. Everything looks normal, but there's a shadow that doesn't quite belong. There, perched on top of the church, almost like it's surveying the entire village, is the dark figure. It doesn't move. It just stands there, as if it's waiting for him. What makes this encounter even more unsettling is the positioning. The church is the tallest structure in the village, symbolic of safety and shelter, but now it's been claimed by this shadow. From this height, the figure has a clear view of everything below, including Cypriot. He continues to move through the village, unaware of the dark presence looming above him. He doesn't glance up. He doesn't react. And why would he? To him, it's just another peaceful moment in his world. Cypriot decides to stay the night. But something has changed. Maybe it's the fading light or the quiet of the village. But Cypriot seems uneasy, more cautious than before. He starts checking the windows of the small house he's chosen, glancing outside as if expecting something to be there. This isn't his usual behavior, and the shift is subtle, but it's there. And then, he sees it. There, above a tree, perfectly framed in the window, the figure is standing, completely visible this time. No more lurking in the background. Cypriot doesn't react right away. He stares at the window for just a moment too long, almost like he isn't sure whether what he saw was real. There's a strange pause, like his brain is trying to rationalize the impossible. He then goes back to the same window, zooming in on that exact tree. He lingers there for a moment, scanning the area as if something in him remembers seeing the figure. But by now it's gone. The tree is empty. It's almost as if he's questioning his own memory. Did he really see something? But wait a minute. There it is again, the figure. This time, it's at another window, standing much closer to the house. Watching, no longer in the distance, no longer hidden, the figure is almost daring Cypriot to notice it again. It's right there, and now it feels personal, as if the distance between them is closing. Cypriot doesn't pause this time. His behavior changes instantly. There's no hesitation. He knows something's wrong. He moves quickly, heading downstairs in a way that feels urgent, almost panicked. In a rush, Cypriot places a bed, something he's done countless times before, but this time it feels different. The way he does it, fast and almost frantic, suggests that he's trying to escape something. So what exactly is this creature? The fact that it appears so frequently, yet Cypriot never seems fully aware of it, raises countless questions. Is it an Enderman? It definitely resembles one, especially in this clip. Cypriot, while going to harvest sugarcane, sees it once again. But this time, it teleported, just like an Enderman would. The thing is, we can't take just this clip into account. In all the other clips, this dark figure doesn't behave like an Enderman. It stands still, watching with almost human-like intelligence. I even tried to replicate the tree incident, found a tree, put an Enderman at the same spot, and took a picture. By putting those side to side, we see that it is shorter and doesn't have glowing purple eyes. But what is the true nature of this figure? It appears multiple times throughout the video, always with the same intent to silently watch Cypriot from a distance. No matter where Cypriot goes, the dark figure is there, lurking at the edge of the frame, its presence unsettling but never confrontational. It's as if its only purpose is to observe him, to track his every movement. I replayed the video countless times, searching for anything I might have missed, a flicker, a detail, anything that could explain the connection between Cypriot and this dark presence. Their encounters feel deliberate, almost like they're part of a larger pattern. But I was looking in the wrong place. The answer wasn't hidden in their later interactions. It was there all along, from the very beginning, right when Cypriot first stumbles upon that strange hole in the sand. At first glance, it's just an odd indentation. Nothing special, but look closer, and you see it's in the shape of a person, or a cross. Cypriot steps on it, not thinking twice, a moment so small it almost seems insignificant. But this is where everything begins. That hollow in the ground isn't just some random detail, it's a warning, a sign of something that used to be there, something that was disturbed. From that point on, the figure begins to appear. It watches Cypriot, not with curiosity, but with purpose, like it's tied to that grave, bound to the very act of Cypriot stepping on it. Every time the figure shows up, it's as if it's waiting for him to realize what he's done. And maybe that's the scariest part. The more times I watched the video, the more things I noticed. The entire video happens around the village. There are villagers going about their business, seemingly unaware of the dark figure lurking in the distance. But this only makes the situation more eerie. While the village is alive with activity, the figure's eyes remain fixed on Cypriot. It's not watching the villagers, it's watching him. The presence of the villagers almost amplifies the isolation Cypriot feels, because despite being surrounded by others, he is alone in facing this entity. So, what does this all mean? The key lies in that person-shaped hole at the start of the video. It wasn't just a random in-game feature. Think of it as a grave, something buried, something Cypriot disturbed by stepping on it. From that moment on, the dark figure begins to follow him. By stepping on the grave, Cypriot awakens something that should have been left undisturbed. The figure isn't interested in the villagers or the surroundings. It's only focused on Cypriot. The fact that it never approaches or interacts hints that its purpose isn't to harm, but to watch. It seems tied to Cypriot, as though it was waiting for him to trigger its awakening. And once it started following, it never stopped. But here's where things get even stranger. Cypriot disappeared from YouTube after this video. He hasn't uploaded in 3 years. What if this figure didn't just stay within Minecraft? What if Cypriot's disappearance is directly tied to the events of the video? The dark figure could symbolize something far more sinister, something that followed Cypriot into real life. Maybe the figure is a reflection of something lurking in the real world, something Cypriot unknowingly released by disturbing that grave. The 3 years of silence suggest that whatever was following him in the game might have found its way into his real life. And if that's the case, maybe it's not just watching him anymore. Maybe that's why Cypriot vanished. Maybe the figure caught up to him. The connections are clear: the hole, the figure, and Cypriot's unexplained disappearance. It all points to one thing: this was never just a game. The dark figure wasn't merely an in-game threat, it was a warning of something far worse, and Cypriot may have been the first to discover that. Now the question remains, what did he awaken, and is it still out there, waiting